First off, you want to take your unsalted butter out of the fridge and cut the sticks into 1 centimeter cubes. This will make it easier to incorporate it into the flour later on. If you live in a warmer area, you probably want to put the butter in the freezer after cutting. However, if you live in a moderate to cold area, it's okay to leave this in the refrigerator while we take care of the other ingredients. Measure out your flour into a large bowl. Make sure to spoon the flour into the measuring cup instead of just scooping with the measuring cup to ensure that you are actually using the right amount of flour. Then whisk in your salt. Get out the butter and begin massaging it into the flour. Do this very thoroughly. You want to end up with a kinetic sand-like texture. Next, liberally add in the ice water. Start with a little and add more if it isn't coming together. It will get a little messy, but you should get your dough looking somewhat like this. Then, separate the dough into 2 equal discs. Optionally, you can weigh the dough and divide its weight by 2, then go off that. Completely optional though. I was going for about 545 grams per disc. Then, wrap your disc in some BPA-free plastic wrap. Do the same to the second one and then refrigerate them until you're ready to assemble. Now it's time to prep our filling. We'll start by chopping our red and yellow bell peppers and onions. After that, we'll also heat up our corned beef and rip up our chicken. Next, combine the onions and peppers in one bowl. Feel free to use your clean hands to combine these evenly. We'll split this colorful medley of vegetables between the chicken and the corned beef. Once everything is ready, pull the dough out of the fridge. You should have prepared a floured surface. Unless you're super fast with a knife and you strike chicken like a pro, the dough should have been in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. It'll need to be worked and kneaded sort of like clay before it's ready for the vegetables. Pinch together any cracks that form. Roll the dough into a log and then cut it into at least 5 pieces. I like to make sure each ball is at least 90 grams in weight before rolling because I find that makes perfectly sized pies. It's not mandatory though. Put one sphere onto the floured surface. Sprinkle with a little bit more flour to ensure that it won't stick. Once it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, use a plate or any other material that measures 6 inches in diameter to cut out a perfect circle. Remove the excess. Add about 2 tablespoons of filling, whichever one you choose. Make sure not to overfill it or you'll have trouble closing it securely. Fold over the dough so that it reaches the other edge and forms a semicircle. Adjust it until it looks nice and neat, and then press it down a little. Feel free to cut off any rough edges to give it a clean look. Then use a fork to press it firmly all around the curved edge. Not only does this give the pie a nice pattern, but it also prevents the pie from opening up if you do it correctly. Pierce the top to let steam escape while it's baking, and then place it on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or foil. I find that I prefer parchment paper, but use whatever you'd like. Then just repeat the process. After you've filled up a pan, combine an egg and a couple tablespoons of milk to make your egg wash. Beat it up. Brush this on all of the pies. Bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes. Enjoy!